Hi mamas, welcome back to my channel. If you are pregnant in the state of California and want to learn how to milk your maternity leave, I'm going to share my top tips for maximizing your paid family leave and disability benefits as they relate to your pregnancy. If you are employed in the state of California or you have been employed within the last 18 months and have paid into SDI or commonly labeled CASDI on your pay stub, you will most likely qualify for the benefits. Now, there are two types of paid leave benefits offered through the state of California. I'm not talking about leave benefits through your employer. These benefits are truly paid through the state. The first benefit is going to be PDL, which is your pregnancy disability leave. The second benefit is going to be PFL, which is paid family leave. You're going to want to file claims for each of these leaves to get the maximum amount of benefit. Let's talk about the disability portion of your leave. Now, the disability portion of your leave is specifically so that you can get paid out while you are unable to perform work duties due to your pregnancy. Disability leave is often given for 6 weeks after you deliver vaginally or 8 weeks after you deliver via C-section. You also get paid for disability before your due date, and it's typically going to start about 4 weeks before your due date. If you don't use the 4 weeks before your due date, you cannot put it on the backside after you've given birth. So it's a use it or lose it situation. So my first tip for maximizing your benefits is to make sure that you file 5 weeks before your due date so you can start getting paid for the full 4 weeks prior to your pregnancy. So the reason I say to file around 35 weeks is that there is a 1 week waiting period. So you won't get paid for the first week of your claim. Around 34 weeks, start talking to your doctor about going on disability, as they will need to provide a statement that goes along with your claim to state that you are unable to work due to the condition of being pregnant. Tip number 2 is if you have complications like preeclampsia or bed rest, you're of course going to want to file for even earlier leave. And the state of California will provide a total of 4 months of disability leave. So you can use that 6 to 8 weeks after. And if you do have complications prior, you're going to be able to use that additional time before your due date. So again, if you have complications, you'll be able to get additional paid disability leave. If you have any additional disability after you've given birth, like for example, say you have a C-section, but then you're diagnosed with postpartum and your doctor states that you are unable to work due to your condition, you may be eligible for additional disability after the 8 weeks is up. I did want to note that 4 weeks is just a rule of thumb. No one knows when your baby is actually going to come. So for example, if you filed for disability leave at 35 weeks, you start getting paid at 36 weeks, and then your baby is 2 weeks late, you will actually end up getting paid for 6 weeks of disability prior to giving birth. On the flip side, if your baby arrives early, say she's born or he's born at week 37, then you may only get paid out for 1 week of disability prior to giving birth. So the due date is just a general rule of thumb. You don't actually know when your baby's going to arrive. My next tip is to really take your time filling out the application. You don't want to have any issues with your application. It already takes 2 weeks for the EDD to process your claim and send you payment. You don't want anything to hold that process up. Also, keep in mind that you can't file for any of these leave options before you actually stop working. So you're going to have stopped working and you're going to be really counting on that money to arrive. So take your time so you can fill out the information properly and stay on top of your physician to make sure that they are promptly submitting their physician statement saying that you are unable to work. Let's talk about the second type of paid leave provided through California, which is paid family leave. Paid family leave is paid for 8 weeks, and you're going to want to file a separate claim for that after your disability ends. So once your disability ends, whether it's 6 weeks for a vaginal delivery or 8 weeks after birth due to cesarean delivery, that's when you're gonna file a paid family leave claim, and you're gonna start that 8 weeks of pay to bond with your baby. My tip when it comes to paid family leave is to make sure that your spouse or significant other takes advantage of leave. Males get paid family leave benefits as well. They also get 8 weeks. And keep in mind, the 8 weeks does not need to be taken all at once. They can take the 8 weeks in any chunks of time within the first year of the child's birth. I hope these tips were useful. I have a ton of other videos on the exact process for filing for both paid family leave and disability, and also tips to make sure the process goes smooth for you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will be sure to see you on the next video.